Rocket Power, which premiered on Nickelodeon in 1999, was a groundbreaking animated series that marked a pivotal moment in the network's history. The show, created by the same creative minds behind the Rugrats, was very significant for multiple reasons that we're gonna discuss in this video. At the time that punk rock, alternative music, and extreme sports were increasingly becoming a thing, it played a pivotal role in helping shape the youth culture by promoting the lifestyle and embracing the culture around it. In this video, we're gonna explore the early production, story, and emphasizing why the series was so important for Nickelodeon and play a significant role in the early 2000s culture. And I'll try to do my best to explain all of that. Welcome to the series The Genius Off, and today we're gonna talk about the iconic and beloved Rocket Power. In the late 1990s, Nickelodeon found itself at the crossroads. After the success of shows like Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and Doug, the network sought to expand its brand by introducing a fresh concept aiming at capturing the interests of an evolving audience, with many becoming more active and involving extreme sports like skateboarding, surfing. Rocket Power capitalized on this cultural shift by embracing the sports-centric theme. The first episode, released in August 16, 1999, the production of Rocket Power was innovative for Nickelodeon, bringing the adrenaline-fueled world of extreme sports to a small screen. Created by Arlene Klasky and Gabuk Sopo, and produced by the Classic Sopo Studio and the Nickelodeon Animation Studio, the animation style itself was dynamic, fast-paced, and visually engaging, offering a departure from the traditional kid-oriented shows. And also the vibrant colors, energetic sequences, and stylized representation of skate parks and surfboard reflected the world the show aimed to portray. The arc of Rocket Power was pretty simple. It was always about friendship, personal growth, and pretty much the pursuit of adventure. The show centered on the four main characters: Otto Rocket, his young sister Reggie Rocket, their best friends Twister Rodriguez and Sam Dollar, and their supportive yet quirky parents. Set in the fictional California coastal town of Ocean Shores, the series explored the lives of these four characters as they navigate through life while pursuing the passion for extreme sports. The plot was never necessarily the biggest point of the show, although there are a few remarkable moments that we're gonna talk about later, but the biggest point of the show for me was always the scenarios and the unique vibe it had. On that, so I didn't grow up in California, so being immersive and just visiting those scenarios and locations with such a fun and vibrant vibe made me always wanted to visit California so badly. I grew up in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and then you can ask yourself and ask me, well, isn't Rio like California? Yes and no. In Rio, we do more like this, and also this, and also this. A little bit different from what the show sold of the vibe of Ocean Shores that made me inevitable to want to be part of it. And I think I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking for a lot of people that watch that show. Eat hamburgers and fries, a milkshake at Shore Shack, skate at the Madtown skate park, surf at Rocket Beach, and go to the roller coaster at the pier. All those places made the show very iconic. From the beginning, Rocket Power embraced themes of family and camaraderie. Their love and experience in navigating these extreme sports were basically the foundation of the storytelling. We witnessed them skateboarding, surfing, rollerblading, playing hockey, dirt biking, snowboarding, and other activities, offering not only entertainment, but a sense of excitement and possibility. And in my case, new discovery within extreme sports. Twister was my first favorite cartoon character and the biggest reason I got into skateboard in the first place. And they also extremely and unrealistic good on all the sports, which make me very frustrated trying to learn new tricks, especially on skateboard. The strength of Rocket Power lies in the deeply developed characters, each of whom represented a different aspect of the youth experience. Otto Rocket, played by Joseph Ashton, was the adventurous and competitive older brother, embodied the spirit of risk-taking and pushing boundaries. His sister Reggie, played by Shayna Fox, was an intelligent and determined character who challenged traditional gender norms, showing that girls could be just as athletic, daring, and passionate about sports as boys. This was a significant move in terms of gender representation, as Reggie's character provided a positive role model for young girls. She was also the smartest one of the bunch.
Who was your inspiration growing up skating?
Reggie Rocket.
Rocket Power?
Reggie Rocket.
Sick.
I don't know who Reggie Rocket is.
Rocket Power. Like
You were in the cartoon. He was in the cartoon.
But that character
Rugrats.
inspired you to skate.
No.
Stop. That character
No
inspired
more
you to
word
skate.
association.
Like inspire you to skate or to
Yes.
be a good.
Both.
That's amazing.
So in the show,
Yeah.
like I remember the show really well because and they made this like fake town called Ocean Shore, I think.
Yeah.
And it was a combination of like Oceanside and Huntington Beach. And it was like this epitome of California surf culture. And I was watching this as a kid, and that's the first place I saw like surfing and skateboarding. And I was like, I want to do that. But in the show, Reggie had a brother, Otto, and I have a little brother. And my brother actually has Otto tattooed on his
that's
opposite
amazing.
arm. So when we
That's
sit next
so
to each other,
sick.
Reggie is giving Otto side eyes because the relationship that they have in the show is pretty much identical to our relationship. And we were always like mountain bike trails in the backyard, scootering, inline, like everything. We did all that stuff, snowboard, like the whole deal. And in the show, Reggie was the only girl in the crew, but she was also like always the voice of reason, and she was really intelligent. And I just remember like being like, wow, it's kind of fucked up to have not very many physical actresses or girls playing people on TV that represent how rad this person is. And she was like a cartoon. She like ripped at everything just as good as the guys were. She was nice. And that was like who I wanted to be.
Twister Rodriguez, played by Ulysses Quadra in the first 3 seasons and Gilbert Leal in the season 4, is the free spirit and often goofy best friend, bringing humor and a sense of levity to the show. He balanced the group dynamics with a laid-back attitude, and his love for extreme sport was matched by his sort of carefree nature. He's also the camera guy and one of the first, YouTubers of our generation. Sam Duller, played for Sam Saleta in the season 1, Gary Leroy Gray in the 2nd and 3rd season, and Sean Marquardt on the season 4. Is the nerdy and cautious friend. He adds another layer to the show by proving a different perspective, one that value intellect and toughness over thrill-seeking, highlighting the diversity, interests, and talents within a group of friends.
Let's just jump into it. Let's talk about Rocket Power. How was it playing Squid?
Man, Rocket Power was actually my first major animated role, so definitely Squid Sam holds a special place in my heart. No, it was great, and that also was, I think, still to date, the only cast that I was ever in that was like featured kids that was all actually children, because most of the time with VO there's older people voicing children and teenagers, so that was all a cast of kids, so that was really cool.
Ray Raimundo Rocket, played by John Cassier. It's Otto's and Reggie's widow, strict but loving 40-something father, a legendary surfer, and is the owner-operator of a combination burger joint and rental shop called the Shore Shack. I always wanted to get a burger and fries at a Shore Shack. They always look so yummy. Tito Makani, played by Ray Bumatai. It's a retired Hawaiian surfer and self-designed philosopher who not only works side by side with Raimundo to help him run Shore Shack, but also provides the gang with helpful advice and valuable life lessons with his own unique brand of wisdom. And here's some of my favorite quotes by Tito.
7 whole days, baby. It's Tito time.
Well, it's like the ancient Hawaiians always said.
Oh, not the ancient Hawaiians.
The most important races are won in the ocean of the soul. Good luck, Reggie. The ancient Hawaiians say, just because you can afford the modern longboard doesn't mean you can honor the moving water. What does that mean?
It means actions are more important than just things.
You know, the ancient Hawaiians have a saying, if you're walking on a beach and you step on a crab, even if you didn't mean to, you should go back and apologize. After all, that crab could be in your soup later on.
There is an ancient Hawaiian saying that goes, when the sea turtle retreats into its hardened shell, just give him time. He'll show up. Especially when there's teriyaki barbecue chicken. You just have to remember, little cuz, that some coconuts have thicker shells than others. If you know what I mean.
If you're staying tuned now, make sure you comment, like, share with your friends, and subscribe on this channel. It helps me a lot. Thanks for watching this video, and let's keep going. They're also important characters, but this is irrelevant to the video. If you want to deep dive in the cartoon and all the details, I recommend 2 of those videos over here. Now let's go over 2 of the biggest impacts the show have on its audience on that period. The first one, it was a big name in normalizing and popularizing skateboarding among children. At the time when Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game series and the X game were also taken off, the show contributed to the perception that skateboarding was just not an underground movement, but a legit and exciting sport. It also was the same year in 1999 that Tony Hawk landed the first 900. And by the way, did you know that the first editions of the X game, called Extreme Games, was held in Newport and Providence, Rhode Island between June 24th and July 1st of the same year? Neither did I. Not just Rocket Power, but other shows at the same era like Jackass and Viva La Band all share this punk skate energy, influencing how kids and teens view action sports and not just activities, but a lifestyle. But that's also a topic for another video. Additionally, the variety of other alternative sports encourage younger viewers to explore different ways of being active beyond traditional team sports like baseball, American football, or in my case, the real football. Second thing, influenced the youth culture, particularly in fashion and slang. The characters' clothing reflected the surf skate aesthetic that became popular in the early 2000s with baggy shorts, oversized t-shirts, and backwards cap. Brands like Vans, Etnies, and DC shoes saw increased popularity among young audiences who wanted to emulate the style of Otto and his friends. You could also see this fashion growing and rising popular bands in the early 2000s like Sum 41, Blink-182, there was NoFX, Mylan Collin, and a lot more. The show also introduced a distinctive vocabulary that became part of the everyday slang for kids during the era. Terms like shoebies, wipeout, stoked were integrated in the daily vocabulary of youth fans. I know some of the slangs were exaggerated for comedy effect in the show, but it still reflect real elements of skate and surf culture, further immersing viewers of the lifestyle with it.
What's a shoebie? You are. Oh.
And to this day, I still do the oogie oogie when I talk to some of my friends. For younger viewers, Rocket Power offered more than just action-packed adventure. It was a show that encouraged perseverance, friendship, and the importance of family. The excitement of extreme sport was tempered with meaningful lessons about self-doubt, rivalry, and overcoming obstacles. And at the end, the message each episode sent was just cute, simple, also very impactful. Let's go quick talk about some other projects related to Rocket Power that happened throughout the show's existence. It was a live-action extreme sport dramatic era play that briefly threw to US Midwest in the spring of 2002, but it got canceled over low ticket sales, and it was originally scheduled to tour about 40 cities all over the US, all the way into the fall. In 2002, Nickelodeon also aired the Maximum Rocket Power Games, an extreme sport competition inspired by the series with pitched 3 teams consisting of professional athletes competing alongside aspiring young athletes in a series of events. It was co-hosted by professional skateboarder Andy McDonald. There's also a couple video games that we could not leave them out, including Rocket Power Team Rocket Rescue, Rocket Power Beach Bandits, Rocket Power Getting Air, Rocket Power Dream Scheme, Rocket Power Zero Gravity Zone, and Rocket Power Extreme Arcade games. For all of those, I only played Beach Bandits on the PlayStation 2, I believe. Decent game. Also, the soundtrack for Rocket Power was released on February 6 of 2002. It was officially the soundtrack of the film released in the same year, Rocket Power Race Across New Zealand. And this is some of the bands on the track list. It has 6 songs, and there was the Rocket Power theme song by the Wipeouters. It was a side project of Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo, distinctive and unmistakable surf punk vibe. There were songs by Area 7, Goldfinger, Bowling for Soup, and Real Big Fish. And last, let's talk some of the most remarkable moments of the show.
Take it easy, Otto bro. It's cool. I haven't quit skating. That's just some dumb rumor that starts up every time I decide to take a break. And you're pretty good yourself, Otto. I was checking you out. You rip.
Really? Thanks, Tony. I mean, Mr. Hawk?
Just Tony, dude. But the next time you come by, you can just go around to the front door like everyone else.
Front door? Rocket Boy. Heads up, you guys! I'm good to go! Rocket Boy! Major Air! Yes! Yes! Bad? You mean...
He's my little brother. I mean, just because it's more fun to be mean to him than it is to be nice, doesn't mean I don't care about him. I guess I never realized how much I...
Oh, why don't you give me a big hug? Gotcha!
Twister!
We won, Lars! Bust!
The squid dog did it!
I did it! Hey, how do I stop this thing?
The punk rock and alternative culture of the early 2000s thrive on themes of individuality, DIY ethics, and the rejection of rigid societal norms. All elements that Rocket Power approach on its storytelling. That's why I think the show is not just very important, but also had a strong identity of what was happening with society on music and young culture. It reflected in the era's spirit of inclusive adventure, and beyond entertainment, the show encouraged younger viewers to be more active, embrace their individuality, and support their friends. Its legacy remains as a show that captured the energy, ambition, and camaraderie of the youth in the early 21st century, making a truly remarkable and influential part of pop culture. Thank you for watching this video. This comes from a fan to another fan. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share with all your friends. It helps me a lot. I'll see you in the next video, and take care.